Hello everyone and welcome to Werven's World and welcome to my Let's Play of Endless Space 2. Today we'll take the Volters for a spin and I've already set all the settings, so we'll be playing it on hard, the pirates will be on normal, the speed will be normal for competitors, galaxy shape might be random. I guess this is fine. Yes, alright, so we will play as the Volters. I won't go into what they do now, I'll make a video about that. It's already been long coming, but last time I wanted to record it there was still a bug in the game, and since then I've been a bit busy with other things. So now I hope to record it this weekend in order to get an overview of the Volters done, so if you're interested in what they do, feel free to watch that. But now we'll start with the actual game. So the Volters are quite scientifically minded, just like the Sophons, but the Volters are very, very different from the Sophons. They're very defensive, and the cool thing is they can use strategic resources. But now I'll shut up and let you see the video.
We had such hopes at the beginning, though we left in sorrow and desperation. But while they slept through the explosion, I have stayed awake for centuries, doing what I could to keep them alive. To save Zolia, first of the bloodline. But our power, my power, is fading. I can do nothing more for my people, the Volters.
The Volters are a stubborn, resilient people that have spent centuries seeking a home. Stranded on the world of Auriga, they had to survive the harsh climate and even harsher neighbors. In a years-long effort, they managed to repair their ancient colony ship, the Argosy, and once again depart before the dying planet became their grave. Once more among the stars, the people that now call themselves the Aurigans still seek traces of their past, as well as a safe place to build their future.
Alright, we can start. Yeah, so the thing I was saying is that we can actually use, unlike other empires, we can use, I can't click on that yet, we can use strategic resources as system improvements. So for example, if we put Hyperium in, we get 40 dust and 40 science on the system, which is not as good as, for example, Blue Cap Mold if you think strictly science, because Blue Cap Mold gives plus 60 science, but Hyperium gives plus 40 science and plus 40 dust. So it depends on what we want, but Hyperium is really quite nice for us, and we can actually just use it to develop our systems. Now, we don't start on a planet, we just flew past this and our ship got powered again, and we now have to find a place to settle on. Now, this looks kind of fun because it has 5 planets, but we can't settle on there. So let's have a look at Adana. Medium Terra, medium Boreal, that sounds good already. Medium Snow, it's good for our science. And another medium Snow, it doesn't sound too bad. We've got plus 50 dust on system, plus 2 per person, that's really good. Plus 3, nice. Very, very cool. So I think we'll just start here. So the only unfortunate thing is that there is no production whatsoever. So what we could do is we could wait until we have longer golden age. But the problem with that is that we will not be researching anything in the meantime and not building anything in the meantime. So I personally don't think it's probably the best thing to wait, but I'm not sure about it, like I haven't tested it or anything. The nice thing about the Argosy is it has 11 movement, so it's quite good at going far. But I think I'll just take this planet and then we will start being more picky, because we'll probably do a toll build, like we will not get more systems than the ones we are allowed to have. As you can see here, we're still currently cryopreserved, so Opbot is still running the show here. And we will now colonize this, or that one, 8344, 655. This one has production though. It's gonna be a hard thing. This dust is really quite nice as well, plus 50 on system. But I assume that only works once we have colonized it. I'm actually not sure about that, but let's colonize this one here. And there we come, ready to colonize this place here. So you can see here, this one has that cool dust nebula anomaly, looks very nice. And the nice thing is we will immediately now start with the Fairing, which is an exploration ship, which is really quite a good exploration ship. So as you can see here, we've got 2 probes, we've got quite a lot of speed as well, we've got 6 speed here, as well as some armor and shooting here. So what I will do is I will immediately assign our hero to this exploration ship, because then we can fly around and do a lot of anomalies and get experience for them. So one thing though is now we have 4 speed, because this ship is holding us back. So now we have 7 speed and it costs us 60. But that'll be worth it because we'll be faster. Now we will gather ourselves some experience by doing these anomalies. We found Transvine again, more happiness. We found Titanium, that's okay. I much prefer to have Hyperium. And another Transvine. Okay, so we'll have a Transvine monopoly it seems. And then we have 2 left to explore with. So let's just go in that direction. Alright, then we have to decide on what to build. We have now the Golden Age, so we get plus 25. If you look here, we get plus 25 on food, production, dust and science, as well as some extra happiness and stuff when we settle a planet. And we do that with that Argosy, and then the longer we wait with settling somewhere, the more turns we'll have of that Golden Age. So we have a decent amount of production now, but not very much. So I think I'll just go for this first, even though it's just plus 10. And we can also have portals, but we'll get into them once it's necessary. Now, what would we like to do? We definitely want to have organ shielding in order to do more curiosities. We also want to have the Hyperium upgrade as well as the Titanium one in order to actually use that Titanium that we found. But I think probably doing some curiosities first is probably best. And then something like this. And then I guess we also want to go into the food industry, because if there's one thing that's terrible about the organs, it's their ratio bonuses. We get plus 1 science and that's basically it. And then we get some happiness. So we will be low on food as well as industry, at least for quite a while. Alright, cool. Let us explore. We found, ooh, Hyperium potentially, or definitely. Huge gas worm. Tiny tundra. It's more Arctic. It's unfortunately not such a good system. But we can just keep going. Got a decent amount of movement speed, so we're not in a I want to say we're not in a hurry, but I guess we are kind of in a hurry. But now we're already level 2, so I could, so she will go on planets at some point, so I don't necessarily want to invest in ship things, for example extra movement on the fleet, even though it's quite nice. This one is quite nice if she's assigned to a system, that we get more titanium as well as more Hyperium. So I'll take that one. Now we have free movement, so when we find another place, we can actually go there, another constellation. Alright, we left Origa millennia ago, but 'twas it feels like yesterday. Slumbering in our pods aboard the Argosy, time was only marked by cold, fleeting dreams drawn out over centuries. Upon awakening I could still remember a million details of the day of our departure, the biting winter wind, the smell of the ash fires along the route to the vessels, the bone-shaking rumble of the engines as we peered into the icy depths of space and Origa receded to nothing. Most of all, the guilt, black and heavy in the pit of my stomach for the kin we left behind. So this is kind of the ending of Endless Legend when you played with the Volters. I might have been overwhelmed by these memories had it not been for the crisis that greeted my waking. Our carefully restored craft, the life-saving Argosy, had suffered a grievous wound. Some cataclysmic explosion had knocked us off course, playing havoc with our systems. Obbot, brave, loyal Obbot, did everything it could to avert catastrophe and get us back on course. But even its heroic efforts weren't enough, for eventually the power failed and we were left to drift. It is nothing less than a miracle that we awoke, circling that endless ruin adrift in space. Our priority was settling on a world and surviving. Oh! No. Our priority was settling on a world and surviving. Even if this planet is not a home, it will at least be a refuge. And so here we are, possibly safe, and yet immediately plunged into another crisis, for no sooner had we planted the Volter flag into this alien soil than we lost our talisman, the ancient machine who saved so many of us by guiding us through the long night. Obbot has disappeared. We scoured the local caverns and crevices, the cliffs and bogs, the treetops scanning the wilderness, but the truth is even stronger. As we skim, I hear news from the base, even the rushing wind and the radio crackle, unable to disguise the words. One of the interstellar shuttles is missing, the voice says. Obbot must have left the system. Now, we can do Sentinels, we'll get Titanium, or we can do Seekers. We get more, Jetonics. Both of them are not that amazing. I would rather have this, but I'll still go for Science, both for role-playing, because I want to go for a scientific victory, but also I want to have Science as my political views, so I'll go for that. Which actually reminds me that I'm playing too fast and I didn't actually set any political views. So currently we have Oracle of Science, which is nice because we can research further ahead in the tree, but I want to see whether it's worth to have something else as well. Less money, more less happiness, more money. Less happiness, more science. More happiness, less production. This one here is quite nice. So improvement costs are reduced in their production costs. So that's quite nice because we will always be running out of production basically. So it's good to have that. Alright, now we can actually exploit titanium. We also found this one here, which gives us more production, which we can build very soon. We've also achieved the objective. We're producing 100 dust in a single star system, and that gives us extra Jetonics as well. We don't really need that, but I guess we can always sell it on the marketplace at some point. So here we will find some curiosities. So we have a gas, we've got a desert, got an arid, medium savanna. Tikaman population. Huh. And Gnashast. Alright, that's not very useful. Not sure if it's worth to do these atmospheric, because I'm not sure if that's saved or not for that quest nowadays. Maybe we'll skip those just for now, just to make sure. So then instead we will use our movement to go here. So we found the population which is now on the way to us. However, we're already kind of getting overpopulated, so I could colonize this, but it will probably take a fair amount of time. Fertile, temperate. Yeah, this is really good here. So I think I'll do something like this. And now I just hope that we can find some Hyperium somewhere. Not there. Atoll planet. Because it would be nice to settle something soon, because the Argosy is already almost done. Actually, we could just send the Argosy this way. With its ton of movement. We should have done it earlier. Because then we might have been able to already settle something. Well, let's first have you do those curiosities. Multiple moons, extra population slot. And we found Transvine. More Transvine. That is a bit of a shame. What about you? Ooh. Lots of deserts. So there's lots of production, not so much science, but still potentially interesting. Yeah, what do we want to research? Now the question is kind of for me, do I immediately want to settle this? Or do I want to wait until I find something better? Because we could settle this tiny tundra here. But I'm inclined to first go a little bit further. The Ambler. Ooh, nice. I can't do any diplomacy yet. I don't have that technology. Not as many interesting things as I had hoped for. Yeah, we still have to do technology. Let's go for food, because we're definitely gonna need it. Like, let's see. Here we only have 30 food left, and that will go down quite quickly. So we'll definitely need some of that. So let's just go for planetary landscaping. We'll just get much more food. Although this only works on hot and cold, and we have tempered ones. That's a bit of a shame. This is plus 10 per luxury deposit, which we have a lot of. So let us take that one. Aha, this looks better, even though it's titanium. This one might have a strategic resource. So maybe it's good for you to just immediately come this way and then figure out what's over there. And then you will, yeah, you will stay here. So now it costs us 8 turns, or 5. Let's see, once this is done it should be much less. And level up again. So once we assign her to a planet, then we'll get some actual Hyperium and Titanium, which will be nice. But first we'll do a lot of these curiosities and then I think we'll assign her. Pirates have arrived. One more turn and then the building will be done. Here we go. Now it only costs 3 turns instead of 5. That's perfect, because then we'll have something else colonized. We'll get actual titanium, but also we'll not be less happy because we have some overpopulation here. Alright. Hyperium! Nice! New event, Mapmakers Anonymous. Your crew follows a mysterious electromagnetic ping all the way to its source, a half-buried control center in the overgrown ruins of one of the system's planet. A quick raid of the surprisingly modern computer system reveals a detailed map of the constellation, including a few systems in unexpected places. Reveals all of the hidden isolated nodes near this constellation. That's perfect. And we get some influence. Okay, we got Jovanus here, but this is nice. This is perfect. Like we have titanium and Hyperium on a Mediterranean thing. The only thing it has is -1 happiness. Why do we get less happiness on a Mediterranean planet? I don't know. Anyway. The Argosy is not fully charged. It isn't? Yes, you are. There we go. Yeah, I really wonder why it said that it wasn't fully charged. Maybe I'm missing something. This one is also nice. It has coral reefs, it has rich soil. So we are in for a treat here. Already 3 per turn, that's really quite nice. And what we'll also do is add her as a governor now. And now we'll get more per turn as well. So that's perfect. Very nice. I'm very happy with this planet. So we will do... What should we do immediately? Yeah, I'm inclined to say go for this and this, as always. This is also quite nice. +3 production per planet with strategic resources on it. So this would allow us to get a fair amount of production going. So definitely science will be our thing we want to do. My biggest problem is always choosing one thing. Like I want to have everything, so that's probably why I'm not a very good player, because I just keep going back and forth between things that I want to do. So we still have our fairing here, and the fairing can actually go out and find more curiosities. Or we can actually discover I think the better thing is to actually go and find new planets to inhabit with our Argo Z. So he's going there. Alright, I think I've been playing for quite a while, so I'll put the episode to a close here. I hope you had fun, and see you next time.